Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents HTFL Football, the Hometown Football League. Today we enter the quarterfinal round of the playoffs, the Eastern Conference Final. 4 conferences, so these 4 conference finals will determine the 4 semifinalists. Minnesota traveling to Baltimore. It will be the Vikings and the Ravens, even though the Baltimore team is a combination of the Colts prior to their move to Indianapolis and the Ravens after they moved from Cleveland. And hello to you all, everybody. I am recording this January 1st, 2021. So a belated Happy New Year to you all. By the time you see this on January 4th. So this is going to be a very interesting game. Minnesota pulling off the upset last week against Green Bay. Green Bay was tied with the best record in the HTFL at 13-3. They will now move on and play Baltimore. Baltimore with their unstoppable Lenny Moore at wideout, because he also plays as a running back, and most of the defenses, as I look to the TV monitor that I have, because the Notre Dame-Alabama Bowl game is going on right now, the national semi. Most of the teams, a few of the teams that have defensed Lenny Moore put linebackers against them, and Lenny Moore has been cleaning up as of late. So the winner of this will determine the Eastern Conference finalists. We reseed the teams after these 4 games are played, and they will be seeded in terms of their original seed, and then we go on record, and then we go on point differential if they didn't play each other, and so forth and so on. So with that, we'll get this quarterfinal game, as I like to call it, underway. Minnesota traveling to Baltimore. It is not September, it is January. So we will change the weather conditions. 37 degrees, a 5 to 15 mile per hour wind in Baltimore at the M&T Bank Stadium, not the old Memorial Coliseum. I control Baltimore. The computer will control Minnesota. Minnesota won the toss and deferred, so I will get the ball to start the opening of this game. Fran Tarkenton and Johnny U scoring big for the old-timers this HTFL season, making it to the Final 8 for their respective teams. But one team will be playing in the Final 4. Likely Baltimore or Minnesota could get a bowl game, could get a game at home in the semifinals. Not get a bowl game. That's college football, dummy. And Bud Grant and Brian Billick are the coaches. Lewis Hillenbrand and Laird back deep for Baltimore. He's 7 yards deep in the end zone, so this will be a touchback. We'll set up the Baltimore offense. Lewis and Washington are the running backs. Berry and Alexander at wideout. The tight end is Todd Heap. The quarterback, Johnny Unitas out of Louisville. And your offensive line, Ogden, a 10+. Yanda, Curry, Barwagen, and Vogel. And we will set the defense for Minnesota. It is a good one. After this first play, a trapped left Jamal Lewis. And he is stuffed at the line by Simeon. 1 yard loss. Now let's look at the front 4. You got 3 10s on the front 4, including a 10+. Eller, Dolman, Page. Page is the 10+. And Randall. Page blocked an extra point in the Chicago game a few weeks ago that put the Vikings into the playoffs. Clinched their playoff spot. It is Blair, Simeon, and Winston, your linebackers. Bryant and Rhodes, Browner and Kraus, your defensive backs. We'll go Joe Washington on a screen. And with the blitz coming, this could be the perfect call. Completed to Washington, past the 30, all the way about to the 38-yard line. A pickup of 19. Good for a first down. Take a look at Baltimore's roster, check their injury blotter. Everybody is active, a 75-man roster in the HTFL, so plenty of room in case players get hurt. We're going to go quick pass Alexander on 1st and 10 on the 38. And Alexander with a quick pass is good for 9. Bobby Bryant makes the tackle for the Vikings. Baltimore coming in the 2 seed, Minnesota the 4. So Baltimore would be the prohibitive favorite because they're playing at home. Trap right Lewis, 2nd and a yard. Did he get the first? He did. Randall made the tackle. Here comes Lenny Moore, and nope, they are not putting a linebacker on him. Minnesota probably knows better, but they are going to try to throw to him here on 1st and 10. Unitas cannot find Moore. There's 47 providing good coverage. That is Joey Browner. And it's 2nd and 10. Screen to Washington again. Can Baltimore get to the plus side of the field? They can. Washington with plenty of room. He picks up another 20 yards receiving. He's at 39 already. 3.5 minutes into this game. Man in motion. They're going to try to go to Lenny Moore again. This will be on a hitch. A blitz coming. We're going to change it to a slant to Moore on 1st and 10 from the 32. That's caught. Whipped down by Kraus, a gain of 12. Now it's at the 20, the red zone. We'll go Lewis. Try to pound it in there. But this front seven of the Vikings is tough, and it's a no-gain situation. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 20 still. We'll go Raymond Berry on a medium slant. That throw is batted by somebody, incomplete. There was a check down to Joe Washington. And now, 3rd and 10. They'll go to Alexander here on a medium pass. Just let the computer decide which. And it's a touchdown. And going into the stands is Alexander, getting pats on the back from a whole bunch of Ravens fans. 6-0 in favor of Baltimore. The point after good by Tucker. And we're at 7-0 with 9:38 left. The drive went 10 plays and 80 yards. Mason, Nelson, West back deep for Minnesota. And the ball's a touchback. Setting up the Viking offense, Peterson and Brown, Bill Brown, are your running backs. Carter and Moss, a couple of very talented wide receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco or New England tries to get Moss in the offseason. Jordan, the tight end. Tarkenton, the quarterback. Zimmerman, McDaniel, Tingelhoff, White, and Yerry. You got 4 10s on the offensive line. The only non-10 is White. And let's call the Vikings first play. This is Brown, Bill Brown. A gain of 3. 4 10s on the Baltimore defense. Marchetti, one of them. Nagata, Lipskin, and Art Donovan, your front 4. Hendricks, Lewis, and Suggs, your linebackers. And both Hendricks and Ray Lewis are 10s. McAllister, Keene, Reed. Ed Reed is a 10+, the only 10+ on the defense. And Volk are your defensive backs. 2nd and 7 at the 23. This is Brown picking up 3 yards. 3rd and 4 at the 26. How you doing, everybody? A quick throw, incomplete, looking for Randy Moss. And Minnesota will have to punt it away. Bob Lee back deep. Relatively average punt. Lewis just had to come in a little bit. The punt went 39. Barr tackled Jermaine Lewis. Return of 4 yards to the net. 35. We have a 7-0 score with 8:12 left now in the opening quarter. Jamal Lewis off tackle right on 1st and 10. He picks up 5 yards. Trap right. Jamal Lewis, 2nd and 8. And Lewis pounding the rock, a gain of 4. Full house. They're going to bring Ray Rice in for a dive play. 3rd and a yard. And Rice gets it, and he gets into the secondary. Blowing by everybody. Touchdown, Baltimore. Ray Rice out of Rutgers, his first carry, goes 52 yards for a score. Usually he doesn't see a lot of playing time, the second string running back. Your point after by Tucker is good, and it's 14-0 in favor of Baltimore. 6:27 left now. Opening quarter. Nelson is one of the men back deep, but Nason was the deep back, and that's a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20. Let's see if Tarkenton can get anything going for the Vikes. We're already in the hole, trailing by 14. It's incomplete. If Baltimore wins, they very likely would get a home semifinal game, because should New York survive, they have a worst record of 10-6. They would each be 2 seeds, and then we would go to the record. And Baltimore beat them in the regular season, so 2nd and 10 at the 20. Beat them in New York, in fact. Gain of 6. McAllister tackles Brown. Anthony Carter comes in as a third wideout. He wears number 81, but he is the split end on the left side, the top of your screen. 3rd and 4 to 26. Anthony Carter was a great college player out of Michigan. And that is Chris Carter, who played his college ball at Ohio State, gaining 10. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 36. So Minnesota moving the chains. That's batted at the line. Pass might have been caught by Adrian Peterson.
Further review, the ball was secured before it hit the ground.
It was.
The pass is complete. No timeout will be charged.
So that's how the Vikings used their challenge, on a completed pass. But the pass was completed for a negative yard. 2nd and 10 at the 2nd and 11 now at the 35. They give to Brown, and he will gain a yard, and that is it. 3rd and 10 at the 36. Tarkenton looking over the middle. That was intended for Jordan, but Stukes provided good coverage for the Ravens. Nearly said Colts. And Lee back to punt. Again, a short punt. Remember, Baltimore has the wind advantage of 5-15. So Minnesota is punting into the wind. That punt went 35, returned a yard by Lewis. So the net was 34. 14-0, Baltimore leading. Trap right Lewis on 1st and 10. And there goes Lewis, pickup of 9. And this is surprising to see Baltimore playing very strongly against a very strong defense that Minnesota provides, especially the front 7. Ray Rice will give him another carry since he did so well the first time. That's a pickup of a yard and a 1st down. 2:51 now left. Opening quarter. 14-0. Trap right Lewis. I know I'm calling that play to death. Gain of 6. Actually, the computer doesn't think so. Randall made the tackle. We're going to stretch it with Washington. Joe Washington, 2nd and 4. He gains 4 yards, and it's a 1st down. So the Ravens firing on all cylinders early. Sweep it left with Lewis. But there's a blitz coming, so we're going to change it, and it's going to be a slant to John Mackey, the 2nd tight end. Instead, it goes to Barry.
Offsides, defense, number 81, 5-yard penalty.
I'm going to decline the penalty, 2nd and a yard. I figured they can get a 1st down here. We're going to dive it over with Unitas. And he got it, 1st down. Time for one more play this first quarter that has gone so well for Baltimore. And we're at the 40. We're going to go play action long pass. Try to take advantage of the wind advantage we have for these last fleeting moments. We're going to go Barry. Play action long pass. A blitz coming. Incomplete. And Unitas lucky to get that away. 4 seconds left. We'll go 3 wide. And we will again try to throw it. Just try to take advantage of the wind while we have it. Barry, medium pass. That's incomplete. So we reached the end of the first quarter. It is 14-0 Baltimore. Minnesota 9 plays for 22 yards. Baltimore 21 for 171. Get a sense for who's winning this game so far, right? Okay, medium out to Moore as we start the second quarter. And Moore How do you like him? Gain of 19. He has 2 catches for 31, and Unitas off to a good start. 7 for 11, 108. Trap left Lewis on this first down play, and it's another nice gain, 6 yards. Cutting it to a 2nd and 4. As the sun goes down here on this first day of the year as I record this. You'll be seeing this at the earliest January 4. 2nd and 4, we're going to go Lewis on a dive. Blitz coming, so it's going to be a screen to Washington instead. And Washington, who's had a couple of nice gains on passes, gains 9 more. He's at 3 for 48 yards catching. He has 1 run for 4 yards. Okay, so the ball now at the 6. They'll again go full house and look for Ray Rice. Trap right. And Rice inching closer to the goal line. That's a gain of 4. Randall on the tackle at the 2. 2nd and goal. We'll go sweep left with Unitas. But he gets hit for a 4-yard loss. And it's back to the 6. So let's see. We're going to pitch it right to Lewis and see what happens. On 3rd and goal. Oh, that's another 4-yard loss. And the Baltimore faithful not liking the play calling. I don't blame them. Tucker to make it 17, and he does. So it's a 3-score game already with 10:49 left. In the half, we have Mason again back deep for Minnesota. This is again a touchback despite the wind changing. Minnesota with the wind advantage now. 1st and 10 at the 20. Adrian Peterson now with the Detroit Lions in real life 2020. He gains 6 yards. 2nd and 4 from the 26. Minnesota trying to prove that their win over Green Bay was no fluke. That was Tarkenton to Carter, 7 yards. McAllister on the tackle for Baltimore. This is Peterson gaining 4, no penalty. Despite some yellow hankies on the field, Terrell Suggs makes the tackle for the Ravens. 2nd and 6, the 37. This is Brown gaining 7, Bill Brown. And another first down for the Vikes. Need to get something going here. Gain of a yard. How they got off to a good start against the Packers was, of course, they ran the ball surprisingly well on the first couple of series, and the defense just kind of held on for dear life. 2nd and 9 at the 45. Tarkenton completed the Brown. Gain of 14, so that was Brown's first catch of the game. He has 6 carries. 21 yards. Tarkenton has started 4 for 7 for 30. They didn't have to depend on their passing game. 1st and 10 at the 41, but here they will have to. Here's Brown again. Gain of 26. Not meaning to jinx the Vikings here. I'm just saying against the Ravens and trailing by 17, you can't afford to run the ball too many times. And Brown, a touchdown. So Bill Brown wakes up. 3 catches, 55 yards. And he just scores there from 15 yards out. 17-6, and now 17-7, with Walsh booting the extra point through. 5:37 now left first half. Lewis back deep. He's 9 yards deep in his end zone, so he'll just take the knee. And it's going to be 1st and 10 and at the 20. Lewis, a trap right. But a blitz comes, so we're going to screen it to Washington. He's already had some success, but that time, Minnesota's seen that play one too many times. Trap left, Lewis, but again, a blitz, so we'll go medium slant. We'll go short slant to Heap. I hope that works, but no, incomplete. Now a 3rd and 10. More medium fly route. Instead, it's dumped underneath to Lewis. Lewis with an 11-yard grab, a first down. So if momentum is going to change in this game, it doesn't there. Jamal on a dive on the first down play. He gains another 2 yards. He has 10 carries, 28 yards. We're going to go short out. We're going to look to Joe Washington. Oh, I meant Barry. Incomplete. Setting up a 3rd and 8. We put a man in motion. Look to Moore on a slant. And that was caught by Lewis.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 47. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Okay, that was Moore catching the ball. Browner drilled it loose. Lewis for Baltimore pounced on it. So Baltimore kept possession. All in all, the play gained 10 yards. And on top of that, a personal foul against Joey Browner of Minnesota moves the ball to the Minnesota 42. We'll dive with Lewis on 1st and 10 from there. And Lewis another 7 yards. So Baltimore doing well, just keeping it on the ground. They have 17 carries and 93 yards, a 5.5 average. But they're not doing too badly throwing the ball either, with a 10 for 17 for Unitas, 138 yards and a touchdown. How about trap right, Joe Washington? Minnesota had to call timeout because that seemed to confuse them. So Lenny Moore will enter and Joe Washington will come out. Fly to Moore, 2nd and 3. It's incomplete. Good coverage by Browner there. And on 3rd and 3, we're going to screen it to Alexander. Wide receiver screen. That's caught, and he gets the first down. Alexander does. That's a gain of 10. And Unitas 349 in the first playoff game against Cleveland. This for a spot to win the Eastern title and a spot in the last 4. Trap left Lewis, 1st and 10 at the 25. Lewis, 10 yards and a first down. That gets him to 12 carries, 45 yards. We'll go to 2 minutes and left in a half. The Ravens with 3 timeouts, the Vikings with 2, and then the Ravens leading at 17-7. Moore coming back in the game. We'll go to him on the short cross on 1st and 10. And Lenny Moore has a touchdown. Baltimore. The extra point by Tucker is good, and we're back to a 3-score game. 24-7 in favor of the Ravens with 1:53 left. That's another touchback. Tucker kicking it well, despite the wind being in his face, 5 to 15 mile per hour. He's still landing some touchbacks here. 1st and 10 at the 20. Tarkenton to Peterson, a gain of 2. Peterson on the run there. I am not aiding the Vikings by calling timeouts. Thank you very much. 2nd and 8. This is Peterson. He'll have the first down there. A run for 10 yards. And Minnesota out of timeouts now. 1st and 10 at the 32. This is Brown picking up 5. 2nd and 5 from the 37 as the clock continues to move. Peterson close to midfield, a first down pickup of 11. A minute 33, now down to a minute 10 to go. 1st and 10 at the 48 now of Minnesota. And Tarkenton will just spike the ball, save some time, which makes it a Canadian football game because he's only got 3 downs to work with now. 56 seconds. Tarkenton, incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 48. Minnesota's own 48. There's a throw. That's another incompletion.
Offsides. Defense. Number 83. 5-yard penalty.
And Minnesota will get another crack at it because of an offsides by Ted the Stork Hendricks. 3rd and 5 at the 47. This is Peterson gaining 6 and a first down. 42 seconds left, and this is going to be an end around to Carter, no gain. And that might cost them the rest of the time for the first half, but nope, they have one more play. Tarkenton going long, caught, touchdown, Carter. And that was the last play of the half. So that was the Hail Mary, which Minnesota called with time running out. They get it. It's 24-13 and now 24-14 as Walsh hits the extra point. So nice series of events there for the Vikings, and maybe we should not count them out. It's 24-14 at the break, and let's take that break right now. And while I am getting a refreshment, you look at this if you want to. Okay, there are your games for the remainder of the week here on the HTFL. Washington and the New York Giants will be our next game. That would be at the middle of the season. That would have been a marquee matchup, but both teams falling on hard times in the second half of the year. Both managed to make the playoffs. Indianapolis and New Orleans will be our Southern final. That is in 2 days' time, January 6th. Then I consider this to be the best game of the week. Kansas City and San Francisco. These two teams have met twice in the regular season. They each split a game. And this will be the rubber match. And that we will have for you Thursday night, January 7th, right here on the HTFL and the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. And now we're back to the game. A 24-14 Ravens lead. Minnesota will get the ball to start the second half. They have 177 yards on 26 plays. Tarkenton with the Hail Mary that succeeded, which is kind of ironic because in 1975 it was Baltimore that got the Hail Mary that succeeded. Baltimore has 38 plays on 266 yards. Dallas got the Hail Mary in 75 against Minnesota. I think I said Baltimore. Okay, so Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson. That's how that happened. Mason back deep, and it's a touchback. First and 10 at the 20. That game is on YouTube, of course. Done by Gary Bender and Johnny Unitas.
Holding offense.
On CBS.
Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
Gary called for holding, and it's going to now be a first and 20 at the 10 for the boys from Minnesota, the Purple People Eaters. Second and 20 at the 10, which was an old song by Sheb Willie. Jordan gaining 7, Ed Reed on the tackle. It's now third and 13. The throw and incompletion. McAllister on good coverage. That probably saved the first down completion intended for Carter. Fourth and 13. So Baltimore will get it back on the punt. And it was a nice punt by Lee, 51 yards with the wind advantage. Nothing on the return. Kasulki making the tackle. And the Ravens take the field for the first time, or at least their offense does, this third quarter. Blitz coming. Screen to Lewis, which we haven't done yet. But Baltimore sniffing out, getting their screens sniffed out. This sets up second and 10. We need to keep the ball on the ground here. We're going to go trap left Lewis. And he weaves his way for 7 yards. Tracy Simeon making the tackle. Is it Tracy Simeon? No, Jeff Simeon. Why was I thinking of Tracy? Oh well. Third and 3 at the 39. Heap. Hitch. Thank you very much. That's complete. Past midfield and a first down. A pickup of 13. Bobby Bryant making the tackle for the Vikings. Lewis. Dive play. And there goes Lewis. Another pickup of 13 thunderous yards. He's at 65 on the day. They'll go 3 wide. They're going to put a man in motion. And they're going to look 2 more on the crossing route. A blitz coming. Caught by Moore inside the 20. A gain of 19. I do have my volume all the way down, right? Do I? Yes, I do. I was hearing another voice for a moment. First and 10 at the 16. Will go Washington dive play. Baltimore looks to go 3 scores up again. Gain of a yard, but they got to get a touchdown to do that. Alan Page on the stop. They'll look for more again. Medium fly on second down from the 15. Instead, it's to Lewis, and Lewis goes all the way. Touchdown. So checking the scores here, that is Lewis's first touchdown of the day. Got it over the air instead of running it. 30-14. The extra point good by Tucker. So 31-14 with 9:56 left in the third. Mason back deep and a touchback. First and 10 at the 20. Peterson straight ahead. He picks up 12 yards. Actually, he went off tackle right. Keene making the tackle. First and 10 at the 32. That is Carter, a gain of 6. We got the 2 Carters in the game. I think I said Carter caught the touchdown earlier on the Hail Mary. And let me see here. Yeah, it was Anthony Carter, I believe, who caught that. In fact, let's double check it. That is Chris Carter. And he did not catch a touchdown, so Anthony Carter did. Second and 4 at the 38. Peterson, a first down. He turned the corner successfully, a gain of 9 yards. First and 10 at the 47 now. Throw by Tarkenton, complete to Adrian Peterson. Ted Hendricks on the stop, a pickup of 7. Tarkenton is now 11 for 13, 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. Second and 3 at the 46. Of course, Tarkenton would go on and be an analyst on Monday Night Football for a stretch. 19-yard gain, Tarkenton to Brown. And also at the same time hosted a short-lived show called That's Incredible. That would be on before Monday Night Football. First and 10 at the 27, which was kind of the answer to Real People, which was another clip show that NBC had. And I believe Tarkenton was in the booth the night Howard Cosell had to tell the world that John Lennon was killed. Assassinated in New York. Second and 11 at the 28. That is Tarkenton throwing to Brown. Incomplete as I fight off a cough. Third and 11 at the 20. 28. Tarkenton. Brown. A first down, but a marker.
Holding. Defense. Number 47. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Stukes' penalty will be declined. It'll be a first and 10 at the Baltimore 15. That has to be right, because if you ever watch the ESPN footage of Cosell talking to Frank Gifford during the break, you don't hear Don Meredith's voice, so it was Fran Tarkenton for sure. Brown, a touchdown. While I was talking about all of that, that's 15 yards, 15-yard completion, and Brown now today, 6 catches, 102 yards. 31-20. Extra point, good by Walsh to make it 31-21 with 5:07 to go in the third. Lewis, Hildenbrand, and Laird back deep. Lewis, trap right. So what they did was Don Meredith, when he came back to ABC on Monday Night Football in '77, he only agreed to do 14 games. But 2 things happened. That was Lewis 4 yards tackled by Bobby Bryant. Short cross Raymond Berry. Blitz coming on second at 6. That's incomplete. Meredith agreed to do 14 games. And the NFL expanded in 1978 to a 16-game schedule, which they still use now. And they gave ABC 3 Thursday night games and a Sunday night game. They would do a Sunday night game and a Monday night game once a year. Third and 6 will go to Moore. Short out. Man coverage. And Moore's got it. And he has a gain of 14. You see the big numbers he had last week against the Cleveland Browns, 231 yards on 10 catches. And they put a linebacker on him. And I said, we're just going to keep throwing to him. First and 10 to the 38. As you see, Minnesota is not putting a linebacker on Lenny Moore. They're treating it properly. Lewis, so I have to assume that's what Cleveland chose to do. Gain of 8. Jeff Simeon on the tackle. And Lewis now up to 77 yards on the day. 2nd and 2. And this would be a good time to go deep. Alexander, play action long pass. They looked to it, and it was batted at the line. They tried to dump it to Washington, actually. Incomplete pass. 3rd and a deuce. Look to Moore. Actually, can we get the ball to Moore on a run on 3rd and 2? Let's see. Here he goes. And Moore, oh yeah, this is a nice play. 40, 35 to the 30. He gains 24 on the ground. And it's now 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 30. We'll go Barry. Medium slant. Incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 29, automatic. First down.
Rhodes was not a Rhodes Scholar there. 1st and 10 at the 13. So Minnesota not having a lot of trouble with this defense of Minnesota's. Medium fly to Moore on the 3 wide set. Incomplete, a little over Lenny there, and it is 2nd and 10 at the 13. Lewis, trap right. Gain of 4. That sets up a 3rd and 6 from the 9. We look for a good play to call here. We're going to go Roger Carr on a short cross with 4 wide in the game. That's incomplete. And the Ravens will kick into the wind. Tucker from 26 is wide left, no good. So this could be a door opening for the Vikings, trailing by 13. As Alabama just hits another big play against Notre Dame in the 3rd quarter. They are up 21-7 as I record this in the Rose Bowl that was moved from Pasadena to Arlington, Texas. 1st and 10 at the 20. I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I had no illusions thinking that they were going to be able to hold up against Alabama. Alabama was just too many weapons at the skill positions. Incomplete.
Encroachment, defense. Number 83, 5-yard penalty.
Of course, you will see this game on the 4th, and you will know whether or not I was right about all that. Hendricks, encroachment. 1st and 5 at the 25. Kyle Rudolph comes in as a second tight end. Actually, it's 1st and 5. They're going to give it to Peterson. Peterson gets blocking, and that's 4 yards. Last play of the 3rd quarter coming up. Moore. No gain to end the quarter, and we are now 15 minutes away from finding the winner of the Eastern Conference. Should we not go overtime, it is 31-21 Baltimore. Minnesota 268 yards on 40 plays. Baltimore 388 on 54. We have Chuck Foreman and Paul Flatley coming into the game. Let's look at Paul because I don't remember him playing the Vikings a lot of times in the regular season. He is out of Northwestern and he played in the mid-60s for the Vikings, we'll just say. 3rd and a yard. You can always look him up on Pro Football Reference if you're interested. Here's Foreman. And no gain. And down went Foreman. 4th for the yard at the 29. I'll watch for the fake punt here. Just had that intuition, which turned out not to be true. And a nice return for Lewis. 41 yards. Tingleoff brought him down. The punt went 44, so this was only a 3-yard net. And now, if you're Baltimore, you just want to pound the rock. Trap left Lewis. 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 32, which is now the Minnesota 27 after a 5-yard gain. Simeon making the tackle. 2nd and 5. We're going to go outside with Joe Washington. And that went as well as Cyndi Lauper's singing performance on New Year's Rockin' Eve the other night. Gain of a yard. Dolman on the tackle. It's now a 3rd and 4 at the 26. We're going to go. I turned that on and I was like, what in the world is Lauper trying to say? What is Cyndi trying to say? Cyndi was a great singer back in her day, but maybe she's stretched out a little too thin. Medium out. Maybe it was all those psoriasis commercials. Incomplete. Alexander looking for a flag that he will not find. Tucker has a 56% chance of hitting a field goal from 43. And he gets it. 34-21 Baltimore with 12:38 left to go. And I'm not making fun of psoriasis. It's probably a real pain in the butt if you get it. I mean that figuratively. So Minnesota getting the kickoff, another touchback. So the kick team for Baltimore doing its job nicely with a plum. 1st and 10 at the 20. APLOMB. Look it up. Incomplete. Tarkenton to Carter there. That was Chris Carter. 4 wide receivers in the game right now. Flatley, Carter, Randy Moss, and Anthony Carter. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Tarkenton's just going to have to air it out. That was a slant intended to Carter. McAllister jumped the route. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 20 now. Tarkenton, incomplete. 4th and 10 at the 20. Where'd my stats go? There we go. And Minnesota must punt. They're kind of in a bad spot, trailing by 14 and punting with 12:11 to go. Lee's punt went 41. Lewis returned it 38 yards. Alabama has just scored again, so it's going to be 27-7 and perhaps 28. Ball to 42 for the not the Vikings, but the Ravens to start. Here's Lewis, 1st and 10. And that's a loss, 2 yards. So that's 19 carries for Lewis, 84 yards. And a stretch display out here for Washington. And Joe picking up 9. Randall remains in the game after being injured. Alabama did get the extra point, so it's 28-7. 3rd and 3 at the 49. Slant to Raymond Berry. Incomplete.
Holding offense.
And it would have been holding anyway. So Berry with 2 drops today, and Baltimore will have to punt. Sam Cook enters the game. Sideline punt, which doesn't find the sideline. Instead, it found West, who returned it 4 yards. Punt only went 33, so it's a 1st and 10 at the 22 for Minnesota, who trails 31-24. Not out of it yet by any means. Tarkenton has to scramble, and he was a great scrambler in his day. 14-yard gain. McDaniel injured on the last play. He is one of the guards. And now 1st and 10 at the 36 as Tarkenton looks for Flatley, incomplete. 2nd and 10. I always think of Michael Flatley seeing that name. The guy from Riverdance. 2nd and 10 at the 36. Screen. This is to Chuck Foreman. A gain of 3. 3rd and 7 now. Ball at the 39-yard line. Another incompletion.
Holding offense. Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
I'll decline the penalty and force a 4th down. I'll watch for the fake because the Vikings are running out of tomorrows, folks. Lewis, a 3-yard return. The punt went 40. 9:08 left. 4th quarter, a 34-21 Raven lead. Looking like they will get a home game in the semifinals. As a 1 seed, as a 2 seed, we still do not know. That'll probably depend on the San Francisco-Kansas City game. Medium out to Berry. We know whoever wins the South will be the 4 seed. gain of 12 because they will have the worst record entering the semifinals. So Unitas picking up 12 and Joey Browner making the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 36. Off tackle right, Lewis. He weaves his way for 8.
Offense. Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
But Yanda picks up holding. Setting up 1st and 20 at the 26. How you doing, Luke Brown? He was telling me that he thinks there are too many penalties in this game, and we might look into that for Season 2. Screen pass to Lewis. That's incomplete. Second and 20 at the 26. We've had so far 6 penalties in the game, so this was well played. But I get his objections. Barry, a medium slant. And why are we throwing up 13?
Pass interference.
That's
defense. Why. Number 29, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Rhodes with the PI. Unitas has put it up 32 times, and maybe we shouldn't have him put it up too many more times today. This is Lewis off tackle right. Loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. We'll put a man in motion just as a decoy here. Inside run Lewis. That's a gain of 7. 3rd and 4. Ball at the 47. I'm going to slow it down. We're going to go Lewis. A 54% chance of a 1st down if I trap right, so that's what I'll do. Flip a coin, and it came up the right way. Gain of 10. He's at 100 yards on the day. I'm going to manually put Lenny Moore in the backfield. If I can find him. Where are you, Lenny Moore? There you are. Okay. Give him a few touches at the wideout position. Off tackle right, Moore. And that's a gain of 5. He now has 2 carries, 29 yards. Straight ahead, Washington on 2nd and 5. A fumble recovered by Minnesota. Carl Eller with 4:39 left. Minnesota still with life. Not going away quietly. And why would you? That is Randy Moss on the catch. A gain of 14. 1st and 10 at the 49 of Baltimore now. This is Chuck Foreman gaining 4 yards. 4:08 to go. Each team with all their timeouts, by the way. 2nd and 6 at the 45. Tarkenton to the sideline. Incomplete, looking for Carter. 3rd and 6 at the 45. Foreman, 8 yards.
Foul. Defense.
And 15 more.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Nothing is ever easy in this league. This is the case in the real life NFL. 1st and 10 at the 22. So Minnesota driving. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 22. Tarkenton, incomplete. Hendricks might have intercepted the pass. What the hell? We'll challenge it.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
Oh, well.
Incomplete. A timeout will be charged.
It was one of those smoke 'em if you got 'em challenges. I wouldn't have needed my challenge once we got under 2 minutes, so that's an incomplete. That's 3rd and 10 at the 22. Thrown, completed to Foreman, who gains 12. Now it's a 1st and goal at the 10. We have 3:15 left still. Not over yet, folks. Flatly, if I gave you any intentions that I thought it was over, I apologize. 2nd and goal at the 10. Tarkenton, incomplete. Now a 3rd and goal. They can't kick a field goal here. That would still put them down 10. Tarkenton's going to scramble, and he's going to find pay dirt. Touchdown. 34-27. Your point after. Good by Walsh. If the Vikings were to win, they could be a 2 seed or a 3 seed. It would all depend on what happens with the other conference finals. 2:27 left. I'm watching for the onside kick. There it is. And it goes to Baltimore. Davis recovered it. Lenny Moore coming out. Jamal Lewis going back in. Double tight end set. Vikings with all 3 timeouts left and 2:16 to go. Trap right. And Lewis picking up 2. 2-minute warning now. A 34-28 Ravens lead. Washington off tackle left, a marker.
False start. Offense. Number 75, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Ogden with the false start, 2nd and 13. We're going to run to the right side. We're going to go Lewis. Everybody playing back for Minnesota. Lewis will get the first down. Gain of 16. That's huge. Minnesota calls time, but they cannot stop the clock more than twice. Trap left Lewis, 1st and 10, 33. And that's a fumble. Oh, Vogel jumped on it for Baltimore. That is Vogel, Bob Vogel out of Ohio State. He probably was a lifesaver just there for the Ravens. I nearly said Colts again. 2nd and 11. Inside run will go Lewis. Gain of 7. Vikings are not calling time. So on this 3rd and 4 play, I'm going to run the clock all the way down to 54 seconds. Okay, we're going to play safe. Inside run. Lewis on 3rd and 4 from the 27. He does not get the first. No gain. Vikings call their last timeout. I'm going to put Tucker out there to try to salt the game from 44 yards. And Baltimore has won the East. That kick is good. 37-28. Baltimore has won the Northern Division. The Northern Division. Did I have that wrong in my graphic? It's not the Eastern Conference Final, you dolt. It's the Northern Conference Final. This is the Northern Final, not the... Well, you think with Baltimore being kind of an East Coast team. So let me just correct that for heaven's sakes. Oh, goodness. Sorry, folks. This is a Northern Conference Final you're seeing between Minnesota and Baltimore. The Eastern Final is tomorrow with Washington and the Giants. Folks, I don't hide my mistakes, but when I make them, you see them. And I just made one there. Okay, so Baltimore has won the North, it appears. 37-28. 45 seconds left. I mean, Minnesota would have to get a touchdown here before the clock expires. Incomplete.
Offsides, defense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty.
Lipscomb. I can't believe I didn't find that error until now. So there we go. 1st and 5 at the 25. Big Daddy Lipscomb committed that foul. Incomplete for Flatley. Flatley dropped 2 passes. 2nd and 5 at the 25. There's your throw. Incomplete. If you were wondering who was hurt on Minnesota's team, it was Percy Harvin. That was it. We didn't show you the injury blotter for the Vikings earlier. So now a 3rd and 5. Tarkenton throwing. An interception by McAllister. His first of the postseason. 13 seconds to go. Take a knee, Johnny. And you guys have won the Eastern Conference. The Northern Conference. I did it again. I said it again. 37-28. Baltimore wins the North. I swear to you, that's what I meant. The Northern Conference. So there you see it. They jumped up to a 17-0 lead. Never looked back. Player of the game was Jamal Lewis. Team stats. Minnesota perfect in the red zone. 3 touchdowns, 3 trips. 333 was their total yardage. Baltimore went 4 for 5, 1 field goal, 1 miss, 3 touchdowns. 459 was their total. They had the ball 36-23. 10 penalties in the game. 6 went to Baltimore. 73 plays for Baltimore and only 61 for Minnesota. Okay, so with Unitas was the better passer, 16 to 32, 224, 3 touchdowns. Best rusher, Jamal Lewis, 26, 125 for 16 yards was his longest. He scored no touchdowns. Ray Rice had a 52-yard touchdown. Lenny Moore and Bill Brown led the pass catchers. Brown went 102 yards. Moore went 89. And your leading tackler was Simeon from Minnesota with 10. Minnesota now eliminated. And Baltimore moving on to the championship semifinals, which we'll have for you January 11th, the night of the college football national championship. As I see this, it's looking like Alabama will be one of those teams, by the way. So here it is, your Eastern final, which I misstated that this game was the Eastern final. It was not. It was the Northern final. Washington and the Giants, that is tomorrow. Indianapolis and New Orleans, that is in 2 days' time. And then we wrap it up with Kansas City at San Francisco. So, and by the way, let's just show you the last games of the season. Semifinal number 1, or A, as I will call it, will be the 3 seed against the 2 seed. Semifinal B, I had this misspelled as semifinal. We know the Southern winner over there because whoever emerges from the South will be the 4 seed, and they will get the 1 seed. And then January 15, 7:30, we will have for you Hometown Bowl number 1. And that'll be the last game of the season. And then in September, we move on to season 2. We hope you enjoyed these last 56 some odd minutes or so. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. I got editing to do now because I clicked the stop button prematurely. So I'm going to have to splice this together. We wish you Godspeed, God bless, and all the best for the upcoming new year. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.